Welcome to the year 2024. In our previous episode, we examined the 5 most anticipated spaceflight events of 2024. This episode will be similarly unique as we turn our attention to the top 5 moments of 2023. On October 13th, 27 Merlin rocket engines were ignited at the Kennedy Space Center on the Launch Pad 39A. The Falcon Heavy was launching its most scientifically valuable cargo to date.
Engine ignition. And liftoff. Liftoff of Falcon Heavy and Psyche on a mission to a metal asteroid in deep space.
Weighing approximately 2.5 metric tons, Psyche is en route to an exceptionally intriguing world that has never been observed up close before. In 2029, it is anticipated to enter orbit around asteroid 16 Psyche, which orbits the Sun between Mars and Jupiter. Scientists are particularly intrigued by it due to its largely metallic composition of iron and nickel. The Psyche spacecraft is equipped with a comprehensive array of instruments that will enable a meticulous exploration of this unique type of world. Moreover, it carries a technology demonstrator of a laser communication device intended to test high-speed, long-distance data transmissions. On April 14th, the second-to-last Ariane 5 rocket launched from the European spaceport in French Guiana.
Allumage EAP, décollage.
This time, the powerful and reliable launcher delivered the European JUICE spacecraft into an escape trajectory from Earth. It has embarked on a several-year voyage through the solar system, involving multiple gravitational maneuvers. In the end, it will arrive at Jupiter in 2031 and enter into orbit around it. Equipped with a suite of sophisticated instruments, JUICE will facilitate a comprehensive exploration of the moons, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Scientists are particularly interested in the potential of subsurface oceans of liquid water, which could potentially harbor life. In 2034, the spacecraft will enter orbit around Ganymede, the largest of the Jupiter's moons, for a thorough investigation. On the 24th of September, the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft's re-entry capsule dove into Earth's atmosphere. Withstanding approximately 30 Gs and temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees Celsius, the capsule successfully parachuted into a restricted military area in Utah. The capsule was opened in a clean room and protective glove box to minimize the risk of contamination of its contents. The case contained material that the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft had extracted from the surface of the asteroid Bennu in 2020. The initial analysis of the samples revealed their extraordinary nature. Scientists were particularly impressed by the high concentration of carbon compounds and the presence of clays, suggesting that the material may have been exposed to water at some point. The exact quantity of samples contained within the return capsule has yet to be ascertained. Nevertheless, it is certain that the amount exceeds the minimum requirement of 60 grams. In fact, more than 70 grams of material has already been acquired from around the primary sampling head. In 2023, 3 spacecraft attempted to land on the Moon. First of them was the Japanese lander Hakuto-R from the private company iSpace. It undertook a 5-month voyage to the Moon and attempted to land. However, it was unsuccessful due to the premature depletion of its tanks. The flight computer mistakenly assumed that the radar altimeter data was wrong, thus ignoring it. This resulted in the lander loitering approximately 5 kilometers above the surface with its engines running.
これをもとにですね、我々の次の指名はミッション2、ミッション3ですね。
On August 10th, the Soyuz 2.1B launched from the Vostochny Cosmodrome in the Russian Far East, carrying the Luna 25 spacecraft as its payload. The name of the spacecraft was a reference to the Soviet Luna program. The development of the lander has been delayed for several years, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine, following which ESA had its camera dismantled from the lander, also had a part to play. Luna 25 was outfitted with several instruments to investigate the conditions around the landing site, with a focus on the characteristics of the lunar regolith, which it would analyze for up to several months. Luna 25 was planned to touch down on August 21st. However, this did not come to fruition. After a smooth transition phase to the Moon, a fatal issue arose on August 19th. The software and its priorities were faulty, resulting in an extended braking burn, which caused the spacecraft to decelerate to such an extent that it collided with the Moon and was destroyed.
9, 8, 7, 6.
On July 14th, India's most powerful launch vehicle, the LVM-3, was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, carrying a 4-ton Chandrayaan-3 mission as its payload.
Here we have a majestic liftoff of LVM-3 M4 rocket carrying India's prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
The whole stack was delivered into an orbit around the Earth, and the propulsion module then incrementally changed its trajectory to the Moon. On August 23rd, the lander Vikram attempted to perform a soft landing in the vicinity of the south pole of the Moon. This was ultimately successful, thus enabling India to become the 4th nation in the world to achieve a lunar landing.
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO.
Lander Vikram successfully deployed the small Pragyan rover onto the lunar surface, which conducted a thorough analysis of the local environment for a number of days. The hardware was designed to endure a single lunar day, so after the frigid lunar night, the lander failed to respond. The Chandrayaan-3 mission was a resounding success. On April 20th, the tallest, heaviest, and most powerful rocket in human history launched from Starbase, Texas. The inaugural flight of the complete Starship stack was beset by a plethora of technical issues. The Raptor rocket engines gradually failed, the rocket became unstable, and the auto-destruct system proved inadequate. Nevertheless, SpaceX gathered a wealth of data from this flight that could not have been acquired during ground tests.
The tower was icing on the cake.
In addition, the first launch of Super Heavy caused extensive damage to the launch pad, necessitating substantial repairs. Nevertheless, within a few months, the ramp was restored, and the base of the table launch table was significantly improved and reinforced.
6, 5, 4.
We witnessed the second launch of this colossus, towering over 120 meters on the 18th of November.
We have the bus. Vehicle pitching downrange.
The second test flight was markedly more tranquil than the first attempt. In the 7 months between the two launches, SpaceX had made remarkable progress. All the Raptor engines operated without interruption throughout the flight. The separation of Super Heavy from Starship via hot staging was successful, and Starship 25 became the first Starship to reach space.
The hot staging was going to be dynamic. We knew that there was a chance that the booster would not survive, but we're going to take that data and figure out how we can make...
But there still remains a small element of incompletion in attaining absolute success. Both the Super Heavy and the Starship were destroyed by the self-destruct system. Nevertheless, the team at Starbase is already making preparations for the third integrated flight, which is eagerly anticipated. Thank you for your attention to today's episode of Spaceflight News. We are delighted in your interest in space news, and to ensure you do not miss future episodes, kindly consider subscribing to our channel. Additionally, you can find other interesting news on our profile on social network X, formerly known as Twitter. The link can be found in the video description.